Hello there YouTube, it's Gojira Prime with another Transformers video review, and today we're taking a look at a figure I just received today, and that is Transformers Kingdom Cyclonus. Now for those of you who have seen my previous video reviews on the Transformers Universe Cyclonus, you will know that Cyclonus is my favorite out of all the Decepticons. I just absolutely love this guy. I love his depiction in the Transformers G1 series, the newest version we got in the IDW comics, and his robot mode and alternate mode I think are absolutely fantastic. So, you know, being the Cyclonus fan that I am, as soon as this figure came up for pre-order on Amazon, I got my order in, and it just literally arrived today, and I've had a little time to play with it, just get familiar with the figure and see what it's like. And I have to be honest, every review you've seen about this guy already online, whether it's a written review or a video review, they just can't do it enough justice. I think this is an absolutely perfect figure, quite frankly. The alternate mode, which we can see here, which I'll quickly take you around, is pretty much absolutely 100% spot on for how Cyclonus looked in the original G1 series. You know, you've got this long nose section here, you know, these wings here, the cockpit section here, the engines at the rear of the fighter. I love the shade of purple. It could be a little bit darker, maybe, I think, but you know, I think it's absolutely spot on everything they've done with this particular vehicle mode. And this guy's big. He really is quite large, actually. For a Voyager class figure, this guy is big. The vehicle mode is huge. When compared with some other Voyager class toys that I have got in the Generations lineup over the years. It really is quite large, but it's really, really nice. You know, there's some very nice molded in details. It's just really, really cool. You know, it's not a very heavy thing either, and it even comes with undercarriage as well. I always love undercarriage on these jets. If I can get this to focus up, there we go. So you can see you've got 3 little pieces of landing gear there underneath as well, and there's very little robot kibble on this guy. In fact, I don't think there's any robot kibble on this guy. Everything gets tucked away under panels or folded up. It's really, really nice and really, really cool. Just to give you a comparison, here he is. That's Seed, Kingdom version there. This is my old Universe figure, and you can see if I bring the camera up and angle it down for you, you can see just how much bigger the Kingdom version is compared to the Universe version we got a while back. Now, I don't have the Combiner Wars version of Cyclonus. I did miss out on getting that guy, mostly because I wasn't a fan of Cyclonus being a combiner. And the version I did want, which was the Unite version, which came in the big Galvatronus box set, was just way too expensive. But you can see here, this Kingdom version is double, maybe more, the size of his Universe counterpart in vehicle mode. So it really is a massive increase in size that you're getting. Now, this guy, when I got him a few years back, cost me, I think, about £20. This guy on Amazon, while he's still available, because I have a funny feeling he's going to sell out really, really quickly, is £25. So for an extra £5, you're getting a lot more figure-wise. And just as another size comparison in his vehicle mode, just to show how big he is, here he is next to another recent addition, my Titans Returns Bumblebee. So he really is a massive upscaling of what we've had previously and a much more accurate G1 representation of the character in his space fighter mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video and I'll get him transformed, and then we'll do some comparisons in his robot mode. Okay, so here we have Cyclonus in his robot mode. And, you know, just like the vehicle mode for this figure, the robot mode is, you know, absolutely fantastic for this guy. It's absolutely bang on the money for a G1 Cyclonus in every in every way that I can think of it. And I absolutely love this thing. The one complaint I do have, though, about this figure is the joints are really, really stiff. I imagine there is a way that you can loosen them up a little bit, but they are all really, really tight on the arms, at the shoulders. The elbows are all really, really tight as well. And they're really, really tight on the legs also. I mean, I suppose it's not really a complaint, but it is... you know, you've got to just give it a bit of force in order to get it displayed. Just having a look at the face sculpt for the figure, you know, classic Cyclonus look for it there, with the horns at the top, Decepticon logo in the middle of the chest. You then got an orange translucent plastic piece here in his abdomen. Again, lots of nice molded in details, all in purples and silvers. You get a more accurate style gun for the character to his G1 counterpart. And, you know, just going onto the back, the wings fold up nicely onto the back section here. The cockpit, you know, rotates and tucks away. You know, I have to say, I think this figure it's perfect. There's no other way really to describe this. This is a perfect Transformers figure. Everything folds away. Everything's neat. Everything's tidy. The joints are all right. The joints are a little stiff, but you know that's a good thing as well, I suppose. Really, if you're looking to get some really good poses out of the guy, and he does, you know, he poses really, really well. You've got plenty of knee articulation, so you can get some decent poses. Like, well, I'm trying to do that pose, but it's not really working very well for me. So, you know, you can get some pretty good poses out the guy. That's just one, I suppose. But, you know, aside from the joints being a little bit stiff for my liking, which, you know, does help him stand up at the end of the day, just tuck away his landing gear. I have to admit, I think this is as close to a perfect Transformers figure as you're going to get. And you know, I know people will probably argue with me as well about that statement, but you know, I think this guy is as close to perfect. I mean, to give an example, another figure that I have that I think is, you know, as you know, what I would consider a perfect rendition of the character is probably Optimus Prime. This is a perfect Generations Optimus Prime. This is a perfect Generations Cyclonus in every conceivable way. So, you know, I think this thing is faultless. I really, really do. The colors are nice. It's a good height, a good size. The transformation process is actually very, very simple once you've done it once or twice. Everything is used. Everything folds away nicely. I can't really fault it. I really, really can't. So just to go over some size comparisons, you know, here he is again with the Earthrise Optimus Prime figure. He is bigger than Optimus, but only because of the horns on his head. But yeah, he's, you know, for a Voyager figure, that's quite a good size. Here he is next to his old Universe counterpart. And again, you can see, you know, he's had a good old size increase from the Deluxe class figure. This is still a really nice figure, don't get me wrong. this is a really, really nice figure. This is a massive improvement over like a 10-year period. Like I said, I don't have the Combiner Wars Cyclonus, but I have to admit, the differences between these figures is just unbelievable. It's such a massive improvement from this to this. So, but yeah, there he is next to his Universe figure. Here he is next to the Titans Returns Galvatron. Now, this figure is also a Voyager class figure, but he is a little bit bigger than Cyclonus. Now, allegedly, we're meant to be getting a new version of Galvatron as part of the Kingdom line. And it's meant to be a leader class figure. I have to be honest, if they just released him as a Voyager class figure, Galvatron as a Voyager class figure, I'd be quite happy with this. Now, this figure does have a third-party helmet from Shapeways, because let's face it, the gimmick on this thing is awful at the end of the day. So, yeah, as much as this figure's okay, aside from the head, but yeah, if they just did Galvatron as a Voyager class figure, this size compared to this, that'd be a really, really good thing. And here he is next to his partner in crime, Transformers Universe, if he'll stand, Scourge. Now, I haven't ordered the Studio's 66 version of Scourge because I actually have 3 of these. Two Western versions and one Takara version. I'm not actually going to replace these because I actually like this scaling between Scourge and Cyclonus. And I think, and I might be wrong here, when they had the original size charts, which you can view on TF Wiki, Cyclonus compared to Scourge was actually quite large because he acted as Galvatron's personal transport vehicle. So I'm going to keep the Universe Scourges and use them with this size Cyclonus going forward, I think. And then finally, one last comparison with another recent acquisition of mine. Here he is next to Transformers Power of the Primes Rodimus Prime Core Robot. And again, this is meant to be a Voyager size figure again, and you can see he is a bit bigger than Rodimus by actually quite a fair amount, actually. But yeah, still a really good height. So that's my very quick review and thoughts on Cyclonus, the Warrior. Is this figure worth getting? Hell yes! If you've not got this guy on pre-order now, if you've not ordered this guy now, go out and buy him. He is worth it. He's only £25. But yeah, if you can get this guy now, I think he's sold out on Kapow. I think he's sold out on In Demand Toys. I don't know if he's still available on Zavvi, but I got mine off Amazon.com, and I will be ordering a second one of these guys as soon as I have the money. I have quite a few other bits and pieces coming this month. So when I can afford to do it, I'm getting another one of these guys, because in the animated film, there were 2 Cyclonus robots. There was Cyclonus and his Armada. Although granted, we never saw the Armada after the 1986 movie. But I'm going to be ordering a second one of these guys as soon as I have the funds to do it, because it's a really, really great figure. And if you can get him, get him. You won't regret it. It's a really, really nice figure. Anyway, that's my review. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe, comment below, and have a very good night.